Hi, welcome back to Anybody. My dad's letters that he wrote in 1999, transcribed now to YouTube. My name's Kevin, I'm his son. Jimmy sort of passed away 2 or 3 years ago. Today he covered several different little things. One was a sort of a gentleman who had spent 147 days in a hole in the ground. His name was Jeff Smith of Mansfield. Jeff, if you're still about, do get in touch, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning your name. And you beat the previous record from which was your mum, apparently, who was an ex-nun as well. So Jeff vowed he would never go back underground again, but it was in the grounds of a pub, so no one quite knew whether he was being fed drink through the hole, and he must have eaten something, I guess, and drank something over that length of time. So that was something. Then he said researchers have found that apparently if children read historical texts but actually watch TV and video associated with the text, that they became much better aware of the history of it, or basically sunk in a lot more. So Dad was saying, well, that's true from his experience, because he was brought up on Saturday morning pictures, and he was saying, I don't know if any of these names will mean anything to you. If you're my age, 68, they might do. He mentions Gene Autry, Tom Mix, The Lone Ranger, my favourite, Ken Maynard, Flash Gordon, greatly improved my digestion of the Beano, the Dandy, Radio Fun, and Film Fun, in which these heroes appeared at one time and another. So he was quite, he felt he was brought up on that sort of diet of reading things and seeing things. Today, I guess, social media being what it is, the opposite is maybe true. Perhaps people spend too much time watching things rather than reading, and I'm certainly guilty of that a little bit. Last postscript on today's, which is January the 24th, by the way, I should have said that at the beginning, January the 24th, 1999. Harold Wilson, apparently when he was Prime Minister, had talked about Britain being America's 51st state. And again, with President Trump's second re-election inauguration a few days ago, clearly there's quite a lot of thoughts that may have a positive impact over here. Now, I think there are mixed views about that in 2025. Bit like Boris Johnson, I think some people think he's the greatest thing that's happened. Some people loathe the guy, and it really does show you how, it's really hard to be popular. That said, I've just been, if you don't mind me digressing briefly, I've just been watching a collection of clips about Dame Edna Everage and his alter ego Les Patterson, and he did quite a few interviews on the Parkinson show. And if you want to chuckle, providing you can just stand the slightly dated humour now and things that perhaps he says now then that he wouldn't be perhaps allowed to say now, although I'm not so sure, that's a real chuckle at any time. Anyway, 51st state, Harold Wilson was thinking that. Dad said, more's the pity that we're not, because he said now we're stuck with the likelihood of being tied up with a lot of countries whose people can't understand we're saying half the time. So a little bit of prejudice there maybe from Jimmy, embracing not the European ideal, but thinking that America 51st state perhaps wasn't such a bad idea. Anyway, thanks for listening. That's January the 24th, 1999. Now January the 24th, 2025. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for joining me. Leave a comment if you know any of these folks and it gets that far. Otherwise, my day, yeah, bye.